Welcome back to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. So my next guest is one of the nation's most influential business minds and investors. Bryan Cressey is going to talk with us about some of the secrets that he's discovered in business, personal, and financial success that he's shared with many others through his new book, Be a Winner, Life's Handbook for Joy and Success. And I'm not expecting to get all of the secrets over here, but maybe we'll squeeze out a few nuggets. Bryan, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. Love your program.
Absolutely.
And appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. So I love to always talk and start our conversations with understanding a little bit about you. That led, of course, to the writing of this fantastic book, Be a Winner. So, Bryan, how did you get into this world of entrepreneurship, and how have you become the person that you are? And, in 1986, you were featured in Time Magazine's edition of American Best. So that's pretty exciting.
I appreciate it. When I was young, I was entrepreneurial. And when I went to graduate school, I knew I wanted to help young companies grow. I was lucky enough, one of two people, to get a job in venture capital in 1976. And I've learned all about entrepreneuring since then. I've grown and helped grow companies, and I've seen how management teams work. And I finally wanted to speak about it, and I did. People said, write a book. I started recording things for my three daughters to share with them so they could learn how to do things. And I finally decided I wanted to reach a broader audience because the way life works is different than we're all taught.
That's amazing. And I know you've received many accolades, and certainly in Chicago, you've been named one of 20 most inspiring Chicagoans in 2020. So lots of accolades, but I should mention you have a JD from Harvard Law School, an MBA from Harvard Business School, and a bachelor's in economics from the University of Washington. So enough about the background. Let's get into some of those ideas. So in Be a Winner, you talk about a lot of different examples of specific behaviors and actions that lead to success. So let's talk about, from your own experience, some of the hardest problems that you've attempted to solve, and some of those solutions that you've uncovered through some of the tools that you share in the book.
I've learned, and it's the hard way, I've made plenty of mistakes, but I've been fortunate to have a lot of successes working with great people. I've learned that, contrary to popular belief, great entrepreneurs work not on their weaknesses. They don't try to improve them. They work on their strengths. And our success in the world will be determined by playing to our strengths and exuding our strengths. Also, teamwork is crucial. The way you become a good teammate is you applaud your other teammates and you don't criticize their weaknesses. What you do is you get players or teammates who fill in your weaknesses. Finally, you admit you have a lot of weaknesses. And the older I get, the more I realize I have so many weaknesses, but I get great people in each of those spots who have a gift. They run with the ball, they get it done, and they're inspired. The final thing that makes a team work or a company work is a vision that excites. And speaking the vision, the way it excites is it improves the world. It benefits others. In our case, it benefits patients with better quality and better outcomes. You inspire people with that, and guess what happens? When you have a great vision, people from other teams, other companies want to join you and your team because they recognize, well, they're going to do these great things. They're having an adventure. They're discovering things. I want to be part of an adventure. People love adventure and excitement, and too many are bored with their jobs today. So that's how great entrepreneurs create great companies.
And I hear your passion, Bryan. I hear the zest and the excitement that you have each and every day. And again, that's why just over and over again. You've received those accolades. You mentioned your healthcare background, so you've received that Lifetime Achievement Award from the Healthcare Private Equity Association, which is exciting. So we're going to cut to our break in just a moment. But Bryan Cressey, again, the author of Be a Winner, I have to ask, in the week ahead, for our listeners, for the entrepreneurs, small business owners, folks all over the country that are tuning in, what is the one thing that you want them to put into practice as a little bit of homework from our discussion today?
I would love listeners to put into practice listening well to others, listening deeply, and living in love and positivity. Being positive as you listen to others, you will hear and find your pathway forward.
Absolutely. That's great advice. Again, the book is called Be a Winner, Life's Handbook for Joy and Success by entrepreneur and philanthropist Bryan Cressey, talking about a path to becoming both financially successful and personally fulfilled. And Bryan, again, just before we go to break, you've been fortunate to conduct some business all over the world. I like to always squeeze in a little bit of fun and levity into our conversations as well. Where's the most interesting place that you've been and that you cannot wait to get to after this whole COVID thing is in the rearview mirror?
Oh, interesting places. I love Paris, and I'm disappointed I can't go there. It really is a city of love, great restaurants, great art, and it gets me out of my daily existence. And I love the US, but Paris, I would love to visit again.
Well, there we go. That's Bryan Cressey's choice over here. So again, you're listening to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. Don't touch that dial. We are going to be right back with Bryan Cressey, author of Be a Winner. As we wrap up our conversation, don't touch that dial. Get on my website, shalomklein.com. That's where you can download the past 8+ years of shows all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Get Down to Business. Be sure to check out the podcast from this show. You can go on your favorite podcast app, Apple, Google, Spotify. Really doesn't matter, but just search for Get Down to Business and you will find 8+ years of shows all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. And speaking of those topics, Bryan Cressey certainly has talked to us about how to turn entrepreneurial ideas into a reality. And Bryan, no doubt our listeners are nodding their head vigorously as they listen to this conversation, whether in the car or at home. But the question is being asked, is this something just for big businesses and people that are very well established in their career, or can the small business owner, the entrepreneur, benefit from this advice as well?
Small business owners can definitely benefit. In fact, I speak to a lot of them. And what I try to convince them to do is to look at their company, where it's going, and the people. They won't have as much talent, but they've got to have the right people in sales, in operations, and help grow. And the way they do that is innovation. If they get people that innovate and motivate those people, they can win big, just like large companies. The things they can do easier than large companies is innovation and motivation. They don't have layers in between them and the employees in the front line to deal with. The things more difficult is to get resources, and they get resources by showing growth. They get growth by motivating their employees and putting resources into growth, which is innovation, and it's sales and marketing.
And I promised Bryan when we started this conversation that we'd share some nuggets. We wouldn't share all of the secrets because we do want folks to pick up a copy of the book, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But in the book, I know you share dozens of examples of founders, startup ventures, seed investments, along with explanations of what made each of those successful. Can you share just one or two of those examples? And of course, then we will make sure people know where they can find your book online and purchase a copy.
Yeah, one of my favorite examples, a gentleman named Paul Olson, was from the electronic wire networking business. And he saw what was coming with computers and networking them together. started buying little companies and fixing them. And when Paul bought a company that wasn't working, instead of shipping product that wasn't great, he actually, the first one we bought, he stopped production, quit shipping, quit getting income. And the company, of course, lost a lot of money. But when it came out, it was working, high quality. Customers started buying again. And that turned out to be the foundation of a company that made 18 acquisitions, built into a $1 billion company, went public on the New York Stock Exchange, and was incredibly successful. And here's another thing that I learned from Paul that we can all learn from. When a recession came, what did Paul do? Did he cut people and cut expenses? No, he actually grew into new territories, put salespeople there, motivated the salespeople. They sold more product in new territories. He introduced new product lines. And in the end, through the recession, he grew the company. Paul would not.
That's inspiration right there. That's inspiration right there. Absolutely. Bryan Cressey, again, there's so many more examples in the book, which is Be a Winner. It's a life's handbook for joy and success. Bryan, you've been a pleasure. I want to make sure folks know where they can find you online and find the book.
Thank you very much. You can go to bryancressey.com, BryanCressey.com. You can also go to Bryan Cressey 3-minute videos. I put several videos on the last 2 weeks on specific subjects that will show people how to have a wonderful life and how to win at what they're doing.
And we'll link to all of that through our website as well. Well, that's a wrap for us here on the show, all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. Get on my website, shalomklein.com, to success. Let's get down to business. We'll talk to you next Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on AM 560 The Answer.